Hey, welcome to Game Dev Weekly. If you're new here, I'm working on Hydroneer, a mining game where you dig for gold and other resources to build massive mining machines. This week I've been super busy. I have done some bug fixes leading up to the new update, which is going to be coming out sometime this week, just after the video's release. Also working on the Steam page, which hopefully by this time should be available, so check in the description below. If it is available, it'll be down there. Also, if you want to check out Hydroneer and give it a go, head over to my Patreon, the link is in the description. The minimum tier to play the game is $2. So right now I'm really close to update 4 coming out, and I've just got a few more bugs to clean up before I actually send out the update. One of them is the fog in the nighttime doesn't look very good. In this forest zone, it looks kind of alright. It's, you know, this kind of pink color, and this is kind of midnight. It's about midnight right now. So here in the snow area, this is where the main problem actually is. Right now it's just kind of the morning, and if I skip a few hours ahead, this is about nighttime right now, and you can see obviously things are a little bit messed up. The lake has kind of gone all bright. It's not dark. I mean, that's, you know, one of the main parts right there. And this fog, it just kind of sticks a bit too much. It just it doesn't even nearly look realistic. So it's something that I need to look into. And the problem with this is that I don't actually know 100% where I'm going wrong. So I'm going to go talk to a friend, see what he thinks, and get some ideas from him. So I've made a few lighting changes, and I'm pretty happy with how it's come out. A lot of these things are just looking at like the day and night cycle and making sure that it looks alright, as well as changing the fog. I also made a little bit of code, so when you change the time of day, then the transparency of the fog actually changes as well. So let's just take a look what it looks like in nighttime over here. Yeah, so I made it a little bit darker, which I think looks cool as well. Obviously the shop is quite lit up over on this side. Maybe a little bit too lit up, so I'll probably look at that as well. And as we kind of get darker, it's still looking really nice. Now, as we move back over to the snowy area where we had that problem before with the fog color, I think I've solved it. So this is just the sun setting, and now it's nighttime. So there's a little bit of issues here. The plants are just glowing a tiny bit too much, and also the ground is just a bit too bright. I'll have to look into this. I'm not 100% sure why this is happening, but I'm going to look into it and hopefully fix it. So the next thing I want to be working on is the Steam page. I kind of started it a few weeks ago, and now I just really want to get ahead and start finishing it. I didn't want to finish it before because of the logo wasn't actually finished, so we're going to revisit the logo today and redo it. Andy made the previous logo, which is this one right here. I've worked with him before on some other games, and you may recognize his stuff if you've actually played any of them. So I really like this logo, but there's a few things that I want to change. The first point is that it's not very readable, especially when it's scaled up and down. It's quite hard to read, and also it's not very eye-catching. So I think what we can do is hand it over to Toby, and he will have a look at it. Toby is the guy who done the concept artwork, so this piece here and this piece as well. So he came to me with some font choices. I told him that I like the top one and the second one down as well. So he went ahead with the second one down and created this image. Now this image, it's really nice. It's got colors that actually represent the game pretty well, but it's just not very eye-catching and somehow a little bit hard to read, especially if it's going to be scaled up and down. I thought it didn't really fit too well. So he went over to his notepad and started sketching out some more stuff. I really like the kind of big letters on this one, and it's quite fun and chunky. And especially the little like droplet in the middle of the O is looking pretty cool. So then he took this image and started drawing over it on his computer, and it started to kind of look a bit like this, which is a bit too Flintstone-y, I thought it was. So I thought we should just kind of abandon this idea. And I had a bit of a think about it, and I thought this logo was nice and it was almost right. So I talked to Toby about it, and I asked him if he could take this logo and make improvements on it and paint over it in his own style, and he came up with this, and I really like this. I think this is awesome. It's got some really nice detail in it. I'll show you some zoomed in images here. The detail is really nice, so this is going to look great if it's blown up on a big poster or if it's a tiny little icon. I think it's going to look really nice. It still has a lot of imagery, you know, it's got the dirt and the rust on the kind of metal letters, and it's also got these brass pipes, which is kind of the reoccurring theme in the game. I think he did really, really well on this, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to start finishing off the Steam page. Okay, so I've now finished my Steam page, which I'm really, really happy about. It's just been sent off for review, so that means once it gets authorized, then it'll be able to be public, and then probably by the time you're watching this video, you'll be able to check it out in the description below and maybe add it to your wish list as well. This logo right now is on top of the concept art, and I think that looks really, really nice. There's a lot of images whenever you create a Steam page that you've actually got to upload. As for the descriptions and stuff, they are pretty good for a placeholder. Obviously I'll go back and redo them just before the game's released. Also, you know, with these images, and I want to release a video before here as well, like a nice little trailer to go along with these photos. Please ignore the release date. That is not accurate because I haven't actually got a release date right now. So 1st of January 2020 is just a placeholder. As well as there isn't any pricing or anything like that. That'll kind of be announced at a later date. So yeah, this has been a pretty busy week for me. I've been doing a lot of bug fixes, just kind of like behind the scenes and stuff. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I also have the giveaway I do every week, so leave a comment at the bottom of the video, and in a few days I'll go in there and randomly select someone to win a free copy of my previous game, The Scuttle. Big thanks to all my Patreons. I really, really appreciate you guys. It means a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.